Что общего у меня с другими кандидатами? Белые кеды!
Всем привет, меня зовут Вячеслав, это мое очередное прохождение игры Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. И в прошлой серии мы должны были с вами посетить древние развалины. Ну, я это все сделал за кадром, вот вы видите в ускоренном темпе все это дело. В общем, нашли мы в этих развалинах старинную карту, которая является частью одной большой карты, которая в свою очередь приведет нас к какой-то там кузнице звезд. Ну, по ходу прохождения мы с вами это увидим. Итак, что мы получили? Теперь мы одеты в робу рыцаря-джедая, плюс к этому у нас 2 меча. Воткнул я в оба кристаллы рубат, что увеличило атаку и урон на 1 единицу. Ну и в этой серии давайте с вами немного расслабимся, отдохнем и побеседуем со всеми нашими путниками. Попробуем просто узнать, что и как о нас думают, ну и вообще, может быть, что-то полезное даже узнаем. Так, ну твое лицо напоминает мне щенка Кинрата.
I am a Jedi, remember? I have far too much mental discipline to reveal what goes on inside my mind with such obvious physical clues. My thoughts remain hidden, including whatever my feelings are for you. I mean, whatever I feel... I mean, whatever I think about you.
Это так мило, когда тебе не по себе.
That is you. Why must you be so impossibly infuriating? You know very well what I am really talking about. I am referring to the bond between us, the one the Jedi Council spoke of. Our connection allows us glimpses into each other's mind. We can feel some of what the other feels, and what I feel within you troubles me. A Padawan must receive considerable training. They must learn to control their emotions and darker impulses. Often it takes years before using the Force can be considered safe. The fact that you are so strong in the Force and have had such relatively little training could have terrible consequences. For you, and for everyone around you.
И что, по-твоему, я должен делать?
I don't think there's much you can do. If things were different, I would recommend several years of training under one of the Jedi Masters. But I fear that won't be possible. Thankfully, you've exhibited a degree of compassion and self-control up to this point. I sincerely hope you can maintain these traits in the future. We must all resist the influence of the dark side. It's everything we are fighting against. This is doubly important for you, with your natural affinity for the Force.
Я попытаюсь.
That's good to hear. Without the proper training, however, I'm afraid you will find the path difficult even with the best of intentions. There's great danger ahead for both of us. Our destinies are intertwined. Everything one of us does will have consequences for the other. Any reckless behavior on your part is likely to affect me as well.
Я не сделаю тебе ничего плохого.
I believe you truly mean what you say, for now, but sometimes it is not so easy to keep such promises. Your power could be a gift or a curse. When you need guidance or advice or support, I will do my best to help you stay on the path of the light.
Я с радостью приму любую твою помощь.
I only hope I have the wisdom to help you through the dark times. But for now, we should return to our mission.
Так, давайте поговорим теперь с Картом. Нет, нам не о чем с ним говорить. Но в любом случае, вот мы продвинулись в диалогах с Бастилой. Все, она говорит нам о какой-то связи между нами. Ну, в будущем мы узнаем, что и как, в любом случае. Так, теперь нам нужно поговорить, ну, с кем? Допустим, с Кандерусом. А меня интересует, есть ли у вас еще история о войне?
Destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements.
А что у вас за история?
I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle.
А мне казалось, мандерлянцы ничего не боятся.
to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below.
Вы ринулись вниз с орбиты на дроиде?
The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life.
Вот это было сражение.
I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now. But I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else you want to know?
Так, вы можете дать мне адреналиновые стимуляторы?
Stimulants make a warrior out of even the weakest human. Here's a stamina-boosting stimulant to help you get tougher. There anything else you need?
Так, меня интересует, есть ли у вас еще история о войне.
You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
If a world isn't strong enough to defend itself, it's basically forfeit. But this story is about something a little different. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main belt in the Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake.
Почему? Что случилось?
The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on the side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other, just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it, something inactive, in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something, or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that.
Астероид?
Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed.
Корабль.
We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. Is there something else you want to know?
Да ну, нет. Наверное, мы с ним сможем сейчас опять поговорить.
Otherwise you might destroy your adrenal system. A real warrior knows his own limits and doesn't overestimate himself. There anything else you need?
Ну да, меня интересует, если у вас еще история о войне.
I don't have as many strange stories like the last one I told you, but I do have a couple about me and the stuff I've done. In one battle above the world of Althir, my unit managed to defeat a force of Althiri 10 times our own size. That battle gained me command of an entire subsect of my clan.
Расскажите историю.
For 5 days, they had managed to hold off our forces, keeping us to the outer rings of their world, preventing us from attacking it directly. My task was to assault one of their flanks with a false attack. The Althiri would be drawn out by the units I had sent in. Once they had surrounded those units, the bulk of my forces would attack from the rear and defeat them in detail.
Сработало?
Things didn't go as I had planned. I saw an opening, a mistake they had made in the disposition of their forces, and took it. While fending off our main force, they had let their fleet split in two. The center of their entire fleet was left exposed. I turned my forces and assaulted the center of their fleet, decimating them.
Вы были великим воином, Кандерус.
Their slow, ponderous ship could not turn to face us without being overwhelmed. The command vessels were destroyed in seconds. Their ranks were thrown into chaos. It was amusing to watch the surviving ships scatter and flee. Several even tried to dive through the plane of the rings to escape us. They were shredded by the rings, or crashed into rocks, or were destroyed by our forces as we pursued them. Warriors do not flee from a battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against your Jedi Revan. Another time, maybe, I'll tell you about how the war with the Republic went. For now, let's just get on with things. Is there something else you want to know?
Так, ну давайте попробуем еще раскрутить карту, точнее не карта, а Кандеруса на одну из историй.
I couldn't really have found much work here anyway, so I never had an interest. It looks like a farm world. The Republic has thousands of these places. Ones that get by farming crops and hunting herds of native beasts. But I might have underestimated this place. It seems to be more than I thought. Do you have anything else you want to ask?
Да, меня интересует, есть ли у вас еще история о войне.
I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We raised whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition.
Но нельзя же убивать других.
It's wrong to hide with shields surrounding you, hoping the enemy will be so good as to throw themselves at your feet to be slaughtered. I have no time or patience for cowards. They deserve to be hunted down and exterminated like vermin. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later.
Позднее?
Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know?
Не, ну теперь уж ты, раз уж начал об этом говорить, надо продолжать.
There anything else you need?
Расскажите мне больше о войнах мандалорианцев.
We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us.
Нельзя же было победить, сражаясь со всей галактикой.
But it was close. So close. It looked like the entire galaxy was within our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The two fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars.
Но вы все-таки проиграли.
Yeah, we lost. But there is no shame in it. We lost to the greatest single warrior the Republic has ever known. It was not your ships or your men or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance.
А отступить было нельзя?
It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know?
Так, ну может быть что-то еще он нам расскажет.
The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it.
Как велико было поражение?
There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now.
И вы наконец-то прибыли на Тарис.
Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Taris could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting.
Я польщен. И вы достойный компаньон.
Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know?
Так, ну о работе на Дэвика я не думаю, что будет интересно, да и тем более нету диалога. Но, в принципе, да, интересные истории нам рассказал Кандерус. Обязательно в будущем мы с ним продолжим болтать. И остается у нас здесь, получается, Джухани и миссия. Только вот найти их. Ага, ну Джухани вот мы видим.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
Мы можем поговорить?
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
С тобой все в порядке?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken.
Почему? В чем дело?
I have been thinking about myself, about KOTOR, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it.
Возможно, тебе нужно больше времени.
Time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company I will be able to free myself from it.
Ну, если я замечу, что ты повернешь в другую сторону, то вмешаюсь.
I thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
Так, отлично. Мы еще можем поговорить? Угу, ну все. Ладно, что ж, давайте продолжим наш поиск компаньонов. Так, в принципе, все тогда. Поехали на Кишик.
Lord Malik, the Star Forge is operating at 200% capacity, far beyond our expectations.
I am more interested in the young Jedi Bastila and her battle meditation. Have you learned how she escaped the destruction of Taris?
She was aided by Karth Onasi, a decorated war hero of the Republic and a legendary soldier. During the Mandalore Wars, he was honored many times for his bravery.
You know this man?
Yes, Lord Malik. He served under me when I still followed the Republic. You could say I was his mentor.
Interesting. How did you acquire this information, Admiral?
An eyewitness, Lord Malik.
Ну вот, друзья, наш старый друг.
Kalo Nord, a bounty hunter, was there when Bastila and Karth escaped the planet. Apparently, they left him for dead.
A Jedi and a war hero. It's a wonder you survived the encounter.
I am hard to kill, Lord Malik.
Kalo has agreed to help us capture the young Bastila for a very hefty fee, of course. But I assure you he is well worth the price. His reputation as a bounty hunter is well earned.
Her companions are nothing to me, Kalo. But I desire the young Jedi taken alive, if at all possible.
Lord Malik, forgive me. There is something else. May we have a private audience away from the ears of the common soldiers?
I trust you are not wasting my time, Admiral Karath.
I promise you will be very interested in what Kalo has to tell you about Bastila's other companions, Lord Malik.
Итак, вот мы прилетели на Кашик и... Здесь у нас, как мы поняли, произошло видение.
The Force has given us a vision, like the one we shared on Dantooine. Did you see it? Of course. You must have. The Force is strong with us both. Kashyyyk is a lush but simple and undeveloped world. I would not have expected to find the alien technology of a star map here.
Казалось, звездная карта находилась на основе лесной почвы.
Only the bravest warriors dare to descend into the forbidding depths of the forest. If the star map is located far beneath us on the planet's surface, as our vision seems to suggest, it's unlikely the Wookiees even know of its existence. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Знаете, так, нет, ничего не надо нам. Ты хотела поговорить со мной?
Yes, I did. I wanted to speak to you about our mission and what lies ahead for us. It seems fate, or the Force, is driving us into a confrontation with the Dark Lord. You must prepare yourself for when we face Malak. The confrontation will be difficult for you. I remember how hard it was when I first faced Revan.
Это правда, что ты убила Дарта Ривана?
It's true that due to my battle meditation, I was with the Jedi strike team that boarded Revan's ship. We did not kill Revan, however.
Я слышал другое.
Our mission was to capture Revan if possible. It was Malak who turned on his own master, firing upon Revan's ship while we were still on board it. It was his desire to kill us and his master both. Thankfully, we narrowly escaped the vessel as it exploded.
Так Малак сделал всю работу за вас?
As I said, we were there to capture Revan alive. The Jedi do not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes. Remember that Revan and Malak were once great Jedi, heroes in every sense of the word. They demonstrate the danger of the dark side to us all. I'm sorry, we really shouldn't speak of this anymore. The memory of my confrontation with Revan is painful. Let's return to the mission, please.
Ну, хорошо.
How may I... What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Так, нет, не готова с нами Джухани дальше говорить. Но в любом случае нам разговорить нужно будет всех, чтобы все диалоги привели к квестам по каждому персонажу, и мы их благополучно сделали.
Yeah, what do you want?
Так, Кандерус тоже пока не готов говорить. Ну хорошо, давайте отправимся на Кашик. И возьмем мы Бастилу и Залбора, так как это родной дом нашего мохнатого друга. Плата за стоянку? Зачем мне ее платить? Очень хорошо, я заплачу тебе 100 кредитов. Переводчик мне не нужен, я и так, в принципе, неплохо знаю. Я обучен силе, у меня не будет проблем. Так, ну хорошо, давайте поднимем уровень Залбору. Так, поднимем, ну, где-то так, и подрывник следом будем прокачивать за врачеванием. Поднимем точность двуручного оружия, из характеристик качаем силу. Навыки то же самое. Давно мы ему не качали уровень, на самом деле. Так, он уже получает на 8 уровне возможность вставлять импланты 3-го уровня. Отлично. Точность 3-го уровня и, возможно, еще также будет поднять потом, наверное, силовую атаку. Ну, посмотрим. Так, а из мечей мы ему вставляем портатив в правую руку, а вибромеч миссии в левую. Пока что это лучшее оружие ближнего боя, и другого у нас нету, но в любом случае мы потом поменяем на что-то более сносное. Но это будет в ближайшем будущем, а пока как-то так. И давайте проверим сейчас, все ли у нас стоит и в мечах, и в цветовых мечах. Так. Ну вот, мы не все поставили в обычные мечи. Вот так вот атаку улучшим. Так, еще возьмем раз Залбора и все, дорогие друзья. На этом серия небольшая подходит к концу. Ставьте лайки, комментируйте и подписывайтесь на канал. А с вами был Вячеслав. Всем всего доброго. Пока.